What screams, "I'm poor but pretending to be rich"? Lexus sits in the driveway but she has to get rides everywhere because it's not running. This is definitely not about my grandma. Taking pictures of your money. That just screams, "Rob me." Head-to-toe designer clothing. The incredibly wealthy people I know tend to downplay it, including their style. My sister-in-law who is in her mid-20s. iPhone 11 Pro but can never make her payments on time. Bragging to the bouncer at the strip club about how much money you have. Despite the fact that I saw the EBT card in your wallet while you were pulling out your ID. Instagram influencers. Unless you're an actual celebrity. I don't believe for a minute that you're living the life of luxury that you claim to be. I have the nicest car out of all my friends. By far. I am also the most broke. By far. Priorities right? Social media posts showing off money. Cars. Firearms, usually handling them in a dangerous way. And other somewhat pricey items with captions like, "I'm going places," or something similar. People that have wealth typically don't feel the need to flaunt it. They're too busy chasing more success. Edit. Spelling. Wearing anything supreme. Outside of YouTubers. I've never seen a wealthy person own this brand or any related products. Seems to be specifically made for this question. Conspicuous consumption. There are many reasons why truly wealthy people don't make a fuss, which includes, but is not limited to, the following: not wanting to get robbed or kidnapped. Anonymity. Many luxury brands are big on prints and low on quality. A few $100s for a pair of shoes that'll only last a year? No thanks. There are vastly more downsides to telegraphing your wealth in public than there are benefits. You don't need to wear brand names to have an ego trip. Just knowing you'll never want for anything in life. That financial tragedy will never be a problem. And you can rack up tens of thousands of dollars on a credit card for convenience sake and pay it off in the blink of an eye are enough to keep any smugness meter at capacity. I just took my BMW to the dealership to get it serviced. Yeah. Then I drove my BMW to the coffee shop. And parked my BMW in the parking lot. Then I drove home and parked my BMW in the garage. Did I mention that it's a BMW? An average suburban Joe. Massive credit card debt. Remember that old commercial? I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. Anything gold. Gold new iPhone? Nice try. Gold-plated shoes? You'll get me next time. I used to work with some dudes WHL would flash their cash, didn't have a bank account. Funny enough, come Monday that money would be gone. Bragging about your money. Possessions etc. A guy who's just a working stiff like everyone else around here, but he boasts that he paid full price for everything. Pickup. Boat. Furniture. Travel trailer. Dirt bike. Hunting and fishing gear. Didn't even bargain or make an offer. He'll ask how much someone paid for whatever, then says, "I paid full price." This doesn't make him look rich. It makes him look dumb. The richest ladies are driving around in old Subarus. With gray bowl haircuts. Elastic waist jeans. A nice LL Bean fleece. And covered in cat hair. They are usually seen at the library. Flashing money at a bar or club. Don't spend it all. You'll be eating candy bars for lunch all week. Always the fake designer clothes. It's crazy how much I saw fake designer clothes in the Philippines. From Gucci flip-flops to Supreme hoodies to Louis Vuitton bags. They're almost everywhere. Upgrading their phone every few months while having the payment split into small chunks that they pay in their phone bill. Basically, look at me. I have the latest fancy pants phone, but I haven't actually paid it yet. Purchasing an old, but not old enough to be considered classic, vintage BMW or Mercedes. It also screams, "I'm stupid." For the money pit they just invested in. Brand new 30+ K car or truck while living in a run-down old house or apartment. Stealth is wealth. Flashy says no cashy. Honestly. Driving a Chrysler. Especially a Chrysler 300. It's the poor person's Bentley. And is the car of choice of most drug dealers, I've noticed. So much jewelry and chains. Real rich people don't wear flashy jewelry. Bottle service. Paying $300 for $30 bottle of vodka so your Insta followers think you're ballin'. Back to work to pay it off on Monday, big guy. Lol. Waiting in line for the new J's. Rich people don't wait in line to buy $300 shoes. They order them online because it's not even close to the nicest thing they own. Big house with nothing in it. When your living room is only a Walmart leather sofa, an old recliner, and a TV. It's a dead giveaway. People with money have curtains, lamps galore, paintings and portraits, $2,000 sofas, expensive rugs, and decorations all over. Even rich people with zero taste have their rooms packed with fake designer bags, shoes, clothes, etc. Going out for a big fancy meal to a nice restaurant and dressed to the nines. But you show up an hour and a half late. Order the cheapest stuff on the menu. Complain that the soda is flat in the hopes that it'll be comped. Refuse to drink anything because it's expensive. Take 45 minutes to figure out the bill because the restaurant can't split checks and you've got to dig in your bag for that extra $10 bill. Have several cards decline. And then not tip. And all throughout the night. Being more interested in taking pictures in the beautiful restaurant to post on Instagram and pretend that you live like this all the time than enjoying the actual food. This happens at my workplace every single weekend. We started putting the gratuity on any tables that fulfill a certain checklist because we know we'll get otherwise. For real. I once served a table like this where the girl's card declined. When I brought it back to tell her what had happened, she already knew because the bank texted her. She was only then moving money from savings into checking on her phone. And I happened to see over her shoulder that she had $38 in checking. Who the goes out to a Manhattan steakhouse with $38 in the bank? Truly rich people do wear luxurious brands. But only those recognizable for design. Fitting to their own style. Not those overpriced brands that turn you into walking advertisement. I can see without bending down his cheaply your Nike or Adidas shoes are glued together, so don't bother buying the newest overpriced model and get some proper shoes. Bespoke tailors are also something truly rich people use. Flaunting the latest iPhone as if it's the best thing in the world. Michael Kors purse or any other designer purse with logos all over it. Fake designer purses that are very obviously fake. Driving a BMW that you can't afford. Rims on a junky car. You know what I mean. Boasting about every little thing. Only paying with credit card, and conversations are usually only about their business. Weirdly, nothing bad ever happens to their business. It's always doing great. Truly wealthy people don't waste their money of flashy overpriced things. Flashy clothes, expensive cars, and gaudy jewelry are all usually signs of someone faking wealth. Some of the richest people I personally know, the most wealthy of which was worth about $30 mil last I knew, drive cars because they work and don't need to be replaced. Wear clothes that aren't necessarily cheap but are of great quality and will last a long time. And generally spend the bulk of their money on more investments to further their wealth instead of flashy liabilities that will lose all their value in a year or two. Huge brand names so everyone can see you can afford it. I mean, not everybody is poor who wears clothes like this, but most of them. Telling your cashier that you have $5 million in that account when your card is declined. It might be true, but it'd gaff. A fake Gucci purse. Most of those you see are knockoffs. Treating waiters like as it's the only time she ever feels superior to anyone. My aunt has to get her digs in when she can. So embarrassing. Telling people how expensive things they have were. I'm like, I got it for $1. They're like, yeah, but mine was expensive. So doesn't that make you a Doomba dollar? Only time I talk about expense is when I feel I got like one X-ray on my leg, $4,000. Okay, I'll likely get downvoted, but sending your kids to private school when you can't really afford it. Not because the education is better than a state school, but because you want everyone to know that your kid goes to a certain school. Here in Australia there are state schools, free, cheapest. Then Catholic schools, very religious and medium level expensive, then private schools, expensive. This can especially be said for people who are not Catholic who choose to send their children to Catholic schools. They put their kids' names down on a list at birth. Pay about $5,000 a year for their kids' entire school lives, all the while having no interest in Catholicism and thinking it makes their kids and them seem better. Fake. Like watches or cars. What I'll mean is taking pic of some good car on the street or laying cell phone case with those fake jewels. Oh, and the screen is always cracked. Lives in council houses but shops at higher-end high street shops. U